All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. We have a very common issue we're going to be discussing today, which is death wobble on Ram trucks. Now, this is specifically applying to the 3rd gen, but overall, the 2nd gen, 3rd gen, 4th gen, and 5th gen front ends are all virtually the same. So this does apply, but the parts that we are going to be listing will be different. But we wanted to just walk you through the process of checking over a front end when you have a death wobble issue, what you can check, how to check it, and why to check these things in a certain way. Now, first of all, what is death wobble? Well, when you have death wobble, it's not just a small shake in the wheel. Usually it happens when you're in a turn and you hit a bump or something jars, and it will literally rip the wheel out of your hand just about.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Death wobble.
It was actually funny, this truck drove fantastic. It's got 280,000 miles now. Strangest coincidence. We had it in the shop to do a second gear band adjustment on the 48 RE transmission. And I was like, you know what? While it's in the shop, let me just grease the front end up. So I greased the front end. We took it for a test drive and this thing went full send into death wobble, and we could not get it to stop death wobbling from that point forward. So we went through the whole front end again. But we're first going to talk about diagnosing your suspension issue first. The first thing you're going to want to do is overall check your front end components. You're going to want to check your tie rods, your plane, your gearbox, your drag link, and your ball joints and hubs. Checking your ball joints and hubs, you'll use a jack. You'll jack the truck off the ground, get the wheel about 1 inch off of the ground, and then you want to use a pry bar to lift up and down on the tire. And the things you're going to be checking is your up and down vertical play at your wheel hub and your ball joint, your upper and lower ball joint. And when you're checking your ball joints, you should have virtually zero movement in your ball joint at all. Now, normally you'll also see some tire wear. If you have failing ball joints, your tires will either be chopped, or you'll have uneven tread pattern, or you'll have your tires, you can visibly see them cambered out because the ball joints are no longer allowing the tires to sit perfectly vertical. Now, if you have a wheel hub bearing failure, then you'll see movement out closer to the rotor, and the rotor will be moving in and out. Wheel hub is bad enough, you'll even see grooves worn into the rotor. So those are the 2 spots you'll be checking, technically 3 spots because you've got upper and lower ball joint. So you'll do that on each side. If you've got movement, then you can visibly see where that movement is at. Now, when you're checking your tie rods, gearbox, and drag link, you'll want to have the truck sitting on the ground. Now, we do that this way because you want to try and simulate the truck being under load like you're driving it down the road. If you have it off the ground and you're moving the wheel back and forth, well, it's got no resistance, so you're just going to be easily moving that back and forth. So with the vehicle on the ground, you'll have someone else start it, and you'll just do small turns, quarter to half turns of the steering wheel back and forth, and you'll check tie rod movement. Now, here's a demonstration of a bad tie rod, and this is more of an extreme case. If you've got a tie rod this bad, don't want to drive it at this point. But if you have some minor movement, what can happen is that little bit of movement can then translate to a lot of movement on the road, and it can be what can throw that into this death wobble situation. Now, very commonly, an actual cause of a death wobble issue is your track bar and a failed steering stabilizer. A way that you can, same way with your track bar, when you have it on the ground and you're moving it back and forth, you shouldn't have any excessive movement in that track bar bushing, or if the bushing itself is pushed out of the steel collar, then you know your track bar has failed and it needs to be replaced. Your steering stabilizer, factory come with a single steering stabilizer. This actually came off of this truck. You should have equal resistance with it pulling out as you do having it pull in. So an easy way to check this, if it has failed, is you just unbolt one end of it. And if you can easily, like this one, I'm pushing pretty hard and it still has resistance. If you push your steering stabilizer and it just boop, collapses right in, it's failed and needs replaced. Now, in our case, we removed the single steering stabilizer and switched it to a dual steering stabilizer with larger rods. That was one of the things that ultimately eliminated the death wobble completely. Not always a requirement, but that's what we would recommend replacing this with. Rough Country makes a nice kit that comes with all the brackets, hardware needed to install, and instructions to be able to get that installed and get this factory one removed. But that's how you can check your steering stabilizer. And also, if you don't have someone that can move the wheel for you, you can always use a camera, set up a camera underneath the truck, and you can move the wheel back and forth and watch the video back. That's a little tip you can use if you're working on the truck by yourself or don't have someone that can come over real quick to move the wheel. Yeah, but then coming into the fix of the issue. So this truck was kind of, everything was broken. When we first got it, it had a small power steering leak from the gearbox. So we put a new gearbox. Steering shafts were actually bad. The joint in the steering shaft was bad. After which I saw the tie rods were just extremely rusted and none of the grease fittings on them would take grease. So we put all new tie rods, drag link, pitman arm. None of those repairs were even related to fixing a death wobble issue. All of those can potentially cause a death wobble issue. Now, at play in your pitman arm, the way you'd want to check that is you would actually grab on to your pitman arm and you would move it up and down. And you would want to have zero play vertically with your pitman arm. It is somewhat normal to have some wheel end play, if you want to call it that, or just steering wheel play, conventional gearbox front ends. But if you have excessive play, when I refer to excessive play, that means that you can move your wheel a certain distance without response of the tires. You'll many times have a very tiny bit of movement where it won't respond to the tires. Either your gearbox is worn out or you have a loose tie rod or pitman arm. In this case, all of those components were already replaced. The first thing we had an issue with, track bar bushing, was pretty much gone. So we installed a new track bar and a new steering stabilizer. We put a new factory style single steering stabilizer on it at the time, and it did not solve the issue permanently. So we wanted to get it realigned. We couldn't get the tie rod adjusting sleeve up on the drag link to adjust, so we did replace the upper one as well. And I feel like that kind of made it worse because now some of the steering components were a little bit tighter. Still had this really bad, shake. We would go into a turn and hit a bump. It would really start to shake the wheel. Sometimes it would level out. Sometimes it would throw it into a death wobble. You'd have to slow down to get it to go away. What ultimately fixed it, we bought the Rough Country kit, which we'll put a link in the description, and we'll put it up here on the screen of the two kits that we use. Now, the first one is a dual steering stabilizer. It basically eliminates this factory steering stabilizer, the single one, and it adds a dual steering stabilizer that mounts directly to your tie rod. Now, this one is a little bit more involved to install than a steering box brace because you do have to drill holes in the lower plates where the control arms mount. So this bolt here and the same one on that side, you have to drill those. So that would probably be, for a DIY guy, probably the most difficult part of that install. Everything else is bolt on, comes with all your hardware, your protective cover, the bolts, the two steering stabilizers. These are basically designed to eliminate a lot of the road, I don't know if I'd call it vibration, but the shock load when you hit a pothole and it wants to throw your wheel sideways. That's what absorbs a lot of that impact force from the road. The other item we installed, steering gearbox brace, and that is up here. So this is very quick to install, by the way, maybe 40 minutes for the install, and it's a gearbox brace. Now that bolts to your sway bar link bolts, your 4 bolts there, and then it has a pillow block with a bearing in it and a new pitman arm nut that comes along with it that slides through this pillow block, and now this acts as an additional brace to keep the frame from flexing where the gearbox bolts to the frame. The Dodge frames, unfortunately, are not the strongest. This gearbox brace pulls out a lot of that steering play. Now these things will tighten up your steering, especially the dual steering stabilizer will make it more difficult to turn compared to stock truck. So if you have a weak power steering pump or you haven't serviced it in a long time, you may have a decent amount of resistance. Compared to before, I'd say it's maybe 25% more difficult to turn, but it eliminates virtually all of steering play and that road vibration. I'll point out a few of the other things underneath here that if you don't know where your components are. Track bar is this one here. Now the track bar's purpose is to keep vertical movement allowable, but then it keeps your frame axle in line with each other. So when you hit bumps, one end of this is mounted to your frame and the other is mounted to your axle. So that still allows your vertical movement, but it also keeps it from moving from side to side in an excessive amount. Now these are your tie rods and adjusting sleeves. Now the adjusting sleeves will not be in a location of play, but your tie rod ends and your drag link ends will be where you'll have your play in this joint. Now something else we did on this truck just to kind of freshen up the suspension, nothing directly related to your death wobble issue. We did put new coil springs and shocks on this truck, and you can see those here through the wheel well. This is also a Rough Country kit. Comes with the 2.5-inch lift shocks, 2.5-inch lift springs. This was just basically to freshen up this old wore out front end. That pretty much covers almost everything that was replaced. Yeah, that was kind of like a crash course on front ends. Covers the fix that we found. It's a very common problem on the Dodge trucks in general, especially 4th gen, 3rd gen, 2nd gen trucks. Very common to have issues with death wobble, and it can be very labor intensive to fix. And sometimes you might replace one part, it fixes one issue, one shaker, one wobble, or the truck pulling to the left or to the right, and then you got to get back in there and check it again. This is what we found. We've put a decent number of miles on it since, and even the steering feels so much safer and so much tighter. Now you hit a bump, you still have your vertical, vibration where you hit a bump, but you've got no more of that steering wobble anymore. So that's what we found was the fix for this 3rd gen. Hopefully this will help somebody else on what to check, what to diagnose. If there's any other parts or things that you guys have found that have also helped you fix your death wobble, feel free to throw that in the comments. We appreciate you guys watching our videos. We hope that you enjoy the content, and hopefully this helps you out on your Dodge Ram truck. Again, if you like our content, feel free to like, subscribe, and check out our other social pages. We've got a lot of good informational content out there and helping you keep your truck on the road, especially these older diesel trucks that can get a little bit trickier as things are getting older. They can be harder to fix, but thank you guys again, and hope you guys enjoy the video.